Kelly Clarkson's intimate, genuine live performances have earned her a reputation. Before singing her classics, the voice coach frequently engages in light-hearted conversation with her audience. However, even Grammy-winning musicians experience intimidation occasionally. Clarkson mentioned the legendary Annie Lennox concert as one of her favorite live music events when talking with fellow coach Adam Levine. She also acknowledged that she was so overwhelmed that she briefly contemplated giving up music entirely out of insecurity. Clarkson started telling Levin and John Legend that there had been a lot of experiences with live music, but one was really noticeable, and she said, "Annie Lennox. I swear to God, after seeing her at this little theater in London, I nearly gave up," she added, "because I thought, oh, that's what you should do. I think it was the first time an artist let you into their world," she continued. "She didn't need to come to you, for example. It was amazing, like if she had brought you." Levin remarked, "That's hilarious that you say that because I'm going to take advantage of you for a moment. And I will say that I had a very similar experience with Annie Lennox in particular." He clarified that for him, it was when she played the piano version of her song, "Why? That's my favorite song." Clarkson cried in a panic. The Maroon 5 singer continued, "And it was crazy because it was like, this person is just capturing everyone right now and shutting everybody up. I was completely amazed." Lennox has long been cited by Clarkson as an inspiration. She revealed to E! News in 2019 that she had once questioned the singer of Walking on Broken Glass about how she maintained the health of her voice. Clarkson remembered her saying, "You have to know when to say no. I was rather young." She remarked, "I was 19 when I left American Idol. Saying no was really difficult for me because I was afraid that others would think I was being a diva or something." It's a very straightforward response, but it's also a very straightforward statement. Look, I'm not a robot, so I can only do so much. The stronger singer has performed numerous renditions of Lennox's songs in her own live performances and on Kellyoke on The Kelly Clarkson Show throughout the years, demonstrating her admiration for the artist. She might be jealous of Lennox's charm on stage, but many people think her 2005 rendition of Why is really amazing. Kelly Clarkson has never been afraid to speak her mind. Authenticity has been the cornerstone of her career, from her early days as the first American Idol winner to her current position as a popular talk show host and worldwide superstar. In addition to praising her strong voice, fans like that she is open about the highs and lows of being in the spotlight. During a recent interview, Clarkson shared an unexpected early career story in an open moment. She acknowledged that she briefly contemplated leaving the music industry entirely after seeing a concert by one of the most well-known singers. It had nothing to do with her lack of enthusiasm or confidence. Rather, it was because the performance she witnessed was so remarkable that she began to doubt her own ability to measure up. Fans were taken aback by the discovery, which also generated discussions in the music industry. How could someone who is as successful and vocally strong as Clarkson possibly feel scared enough to think about giving up? It turns out that when confronted with grandeur, even the most successful artists occasionally have moments of doubt. The night that changed everything, Clarkson said, it was one of those infrequent moments that you never forget. She had received an invitation to see a great artist who has had decades of influence on the music industry play live. The arena was crowded with fans, fellow musicians, and industry experts who were excited to see what was sure to be an unforgettable performance. Clarkson had a mixture of curiosity and excitement as the room's lights went down and the opening notes began to play. For years, she had idolized this singer and frequently mentioned them as an inspiration. However, nothing had prepared her for what she was going to see. The performance was captivating from the first song. The vocalist delivered each phrase with vocal perfection and emotional depth, commanding the stage with effortless assurance. The audience responded with standing ovations and cheers that seemed to get louder by the minute, hanging on every note. Clarkson was totally engrossed in it. She closely observed every aspect, not just as a fan, but also as a fellow artist. The stage presence, tone, control, and audience connection all seemed nearly unbelievable. "One of those performances where you realize you're seeing something truly special," she said. A brief period of self-doubt as the performance went on, Clarkson started to experience an unexpected emotion. She was overwhelmed rather than just inspired. She began to doubt her own position in the field after witnessing someone perform at such a remarkable level. She later acknowledged that the encounter was frightening as well as amazing. During the interview, she recalled, "I remember sitting there thinking, how do you even compete with that?" Jealousy wasn't the reason. It was simply amazing. There is a distinct level there. She briefly considered the possibility that she would not be a good fit among artists of that caliber. It was intimidating to try to replicate such a strong performance. She pondered whether she need to take a step back, reevaluate her course, and possibly concentrate on other facets of her work. There wasn't a protracted time of hopelessness or a dramatic decision. Rather, it was a brief but sincere period of introspection that many artists have but seldom talk about in public. The truth about being an artist. Fans were moved by Clarkson's statement because it showed a side of the music business that is frequently hidden. There is a world of relentless comparison and high expectations hidden behind the glitzy shows and #1 hits. Peers with extraordinary talent surround artists, and seeing outstanding performances can occasionally cause self-doubt. For Clarkson, who at that time had already achieved some success, the event was a reminder that progress never really stops. Even well-known artists are constantly learning, developing, and sometimes doubting themselves. It may be both inspiring and terrifying to watch someone perform at such a high level, she noted. On the one hand, it encourages you to get better and aim for greatness. However, it can also give you the impression that the bar has been set too high. She compared it to witnessing an Olympic athlete smash a world record. You're inspired and in awe, but you also wonder how you ever managed to achieve that. Getting a perspective. Luckily, Clarkson was not defined by that moment of uncertainty. She started to think differently about what she had experienced after the performance was over and the initial emotional outburst subsided. She decided to take the legendary singer's performance as an opportunity to grow rather than something to be afraid of. She came to see that expressiveness, not rivalry, is what makes music great. Every performer has something special to offer on stage, and occasionally this can be lost when one compares oneself to others too closely. She also had conversations with mentors and other musicians who provided insightful commentary. Many of them related similar experiences of feeling that the skill of another artist eclipsed their own. Clarkson realized that such periods are a natural part of the creative process after learning that even veteran performers had felt the same way. She clarified, "Everyone has that moment. When you witness someone accomplish something amazing, you take a moment to reflect. However, that doesn't mean you give up. It just indicates that you develop." Creating motivation out of doubt. Clarkson took the experience as inspiration, rather than a break from music. She was resolved to push herself creatively and improve her skills when she returned to the studio with fresh concentration. She found motivation in the performance that had previously made her think about giving up. She started experimenting with different genres, trying out new vocal approaches, and working with musicians who pushed her musical boundaries. Every project turned into a chance to develop and change. Additionally, Clarkson accepted the notion that no two performers should sound or perform precisely identical. They had a distinctive presence and style, just like the legendary singer she had seen. Clarkson concentrated on creating her own artistic personality rather than attempting to imitate that. She was able to proceed with confidence as a result of this change of viewpoint. Her moment of uncertainty turned into a pivotal event that fortified rather than weakened her determination. The value of being vulnerable. Clarkson provided a unique window into the emotional realities of being a performer by making this story public. Her candor struck a chord with both fans and other musicians. A lot of people could identify with the sense of being scared by someone